So, are you one of those curious souls, like me, that wonder how much water trees drink per day? Whether planets can float on water? And why guinea pigs popcorn? Yeah, I know it's weird, but I'm a curious kind of guy. The word muscle comes from the Latin little mouse. People in ancient Rome thought some muscles, for example a flexed bicep, had a mouse-like shape. Ready to find the answers to these and many other burning questions. Cats don't actually know how to use a litter box. Their instinct helps them. Their ancestors did it to hide their scent from more dominant cats and other predators. Nerves are connected throughout your body. They carry information from the brain to different organs and back at breakneck speed, up to 260 miles per hour. The human heart beats on average more than 3 billion times during its lifespan. Man, if I had a nickel for every time. Your body gives off a tiny amount of light. In other words, you're glowing, but nobody can see it with the unaided eye. Babies only make crying sounds, but shed no tears until they're at least several weeks old. Owls don't have eyeballs. Really? Yeah. Their eyes are shaped more like tubes and held in place by special bones. On the bright side, owls can turn their necks 270 degrees in both directions, plus 90 degrees up and down. And they don't even need to move their shoulders at that. Pineapples are super slow growers. If you plant the top of a pineapple, you'll have to wait for 2 or 2.5 years for it to start blooming. American buffalo herds often make decisions by voting. For example, when they choose where to travel, animals would stand up one by one, look in a particular direction, and then lie down again. In most cases, the herd then moves in the direction that got the most looks. Oh, by the way, Roger Miller says you can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. Your nose has at least 400 different scent receptors. That's why most people can detect around 1 trillion different smells. That's 3 to 4 times as many as the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. An apple is almost 20% air. That's why it floats when placed in the water. Ooh, anyone for some apple bobbing? At first sight, the fluffy roc's hyrax doesn't look somewhat impressive. The animal lives in some parts of Africa and the Middle East, but this 10-pound creature is one of the closest relatives of the 10,000-pound elephant. Your brain tends to change memories with time. That's why you're likely to have at least one false piece of memory, or a whole lot more in my case. The University of Oxford is older than the Aztec Empire. The educational institution was established in 1096. The Aztec Empire was founded 332 years later in 1428. But who's counting? Your blood makes up 7 to 8% of your total body mass. People are more honest when they're tired. That's why most confessions are made during late-night conversations. At a particular temperature and pressure, frozen liquid can start to boil, and boiling liquid will freeze. This phenomenon is called a triple point. For water, it's a bit more than 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 611 pascals of pressure. Your body loses from 30,000 to 40,000 skin cells every hour. Within a day, you shed almost 1 million skin cells. Look behind you, there's a big pile of you on the floor. A big oak tree can drink 100 gallons of water per day, and a giant sequoia usually consumes 500 gallons in one day. Horses use facial expressions to communicate their feelings. These expressions are rather similar to those people make. For example, horses raise inner eyebrows to show sadness, fear, and surprise. They also pull back lip corners in submission or greeting. Probably where the expression, "Hey, why the long face?" comes from. Or not. A moose's antlers are so sensitive, they can feel a fly landing on them. The human brain is shrinking. Over the last 10,000 years, its mass has become 1 tennis ball smaller. Luckily, it hasn't influenced how smart people are. Explains why I stink at tennis, too. Marge Simpson's hairstyle is super tall, not without reason. She uses it to hide her rabbit ears. Or at least it was supposed to be this way. The creators were going to make the big reveal in the last episode of the first season. But then they decided the cartoon had gotten too realistic and left Marge with just an unusual hairstyle. Placebo sleep is when you make your brain believe you've slept well. If you're convincing enough, it can boost your brain performance.